and gentlemen, Comic-Con Midlands. I hate to say it, I'm not supposed to play favorites, but we may have saved the best for last, am I right? This panel is going to be so much fun, and I need to make sure that you guys are ready because it's been a long weekend, but we need all the energy, all the rowdiness. Telford, are you ready to meet the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Please help me welcome to the stage, first of all, Claire Kramer. Please welcome Mark Metcalf. Oh my goodness. What an actor, what an actor. And Christine Sutherland. We're sort of doing a feng shui number with this one.
Yeah, I get my own couch.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
You do. You deserve it. You deserve
Thanks.
it.
I feel like I do too, you know?
You do. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Woo! We are so thrilled to have you here, and I have to tell you, I've met almost all of your castmates. Spoiler alert, they're all amazing. All lovely people, all great interviews. No pressure, but everyone's been great. We have James very often. Charisma is here. We've got to meet so many fantastic Buffy actors. But first of all, just go down the line here. I'll start with you, Miss Claire. How has Telford been treating you so far, all of your adoring fans?
It has been amazing. This is my first time at a Monopoly event.
Yay.
And I have had the best time. It's so great. I have Rachel, who's wherever she is. She's my amazing handler. We're new BFFs. And I've just had a lot of fun.
We're happy to have you here. Mr. Metcalf, how's today gone for you?
How's the day gone today? I woke up at 3 in the morning.
Oh, no.
You don't want the whole day, though.
Sure, walk us through.
And I couldn't get back to sleep, so I just wrote. I write a Substack, and then I had a little breakfast. A big breakfast, actually, because I really like
an English breakfast.
An English?
And then I came here, and since I've been here, it's like heaven. It's perfect. The people here are really great.
Except there's dinosaurs in this heaven.
Yes. A little dangerous in this area. And cyborgs,
I
and as you
thought that
can
was-
see.
Are they fighting or making out?
I can't tell.
Those are great. Who are those guys?
They're dinosaurs.
They usually come by every panel. Hi, Lou. Love you.
Have you talked to them?
I speak fluent Dino. As a Comic-Con host, that's part of your resume. You have to speak fluent Dino. T-Rex is my area of expertise.
My son would love them. He loves T-Rex.
Yeah, no pun intended.
So it's been a good day.
Yes.
I like it. And the T-Rex just cap it off.
There's always something to see at Comic-Con. And Miss Sutherland, how has it been going for you? Because, I mean, there's so many fans from all over the world. How's it been to meet all of them here today?
Oh, it's fantastic. You guys just always give us so much. So it's always a pleasure. And I've had a great day. What a way to start your morning off with an English breakfast of English sausages and bacon and eggs and mushrooms. I mean, I sat and ate breakfast this morning and I was like, man, my life would be so great if I had a breakfast like this served to me every morning.
I've gotten on board with it as well. Some people, Americans, I hear different variations, and they like it, they don't. Big fan of English breakfast. Do you have any time to see the UK while you're here, or is this kind of a quick trip for all of you? Feel free to chime in, anyone.
Oh, I can tell you it's a very quick trip. I landed Friday night and got to the hotel around 8 p.m., which is 18 here.
The military time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Or no, it's 8:20, I think. Yeah, 20 o'clock. And then I will leave tomorrow morning from the hotel at 6 a.m. So it's just, but the nice thing is they flew me through Germany, so I get to, I mean, I'm being a little sarcastic. I'm practicing my German now.
There you go. Did you just fly over practicing the German, or you have to stop for a while?
Yeah, I was like, ich heiße Claire,
Yes.
just practice, just rolling it off.
Yes. In the military time, by the way, everyone goes, well, Val, the whole world uses military time. But as Americans, I'm like, 17 o'clock, my train, what? It takes a while.
It does take a while.
Yes. But do you have
We
any time
drag
to
our
see-
feet on everything. We tried to do the metric system
Yeah, I
back in
know.
the 70s, and Americans are just a little slow.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have the leader now to prove it.
So true. Round of applause. My new favorite.
So, yeah. What was the question?
So I'm still laughing about that. No, just do you have any time to see the UK while you're here, or is it a quick trip? Are you
No,
just
it's
in
a
and
quick
out?
trip for me. I've spent a lot of time here. I've been here for several of these, got down in London. I made a picture here, the first picture I ever made, a picture called Julia. Shot here and stayed in London for 6 weeks, traveled to the Isle of Wight to shoot, and traveled just for fun to Ireland. And then 2 years ago, I brought my son. I told him when he graduated from law school, he could have a trip anywhere, hoping he would say Italy, so we could just go and eat and drink wine. And he said, no, I want to trace the roots of the Metcalfe family name. So we went, because we started in around Penrith and Keswick. That's where the Metcalfe name first came into existence. So we started in London, went to York, which is now my favorite town in England.
Beautiful.
And then we drove to Edinburgh, which is great. We Glasgow, Pitlochry, flew from Glasgow to Belfast, rented another car, and drove all the way down the west coast, down to Cork, back up to Dublin, and then into Wales. Took the ferry to Wales. You asked what I did today, and I started with breakfast. We did the whole of the British Isles, and I love it here.
That's
and I wish
very
I could
cool.
stay, but I'm drooling.
Because you love it so much. Makes sense. No, honestly, I love to hear that because sometimes, it's a shame when someone has to fly in and fly out and not see anything, but it sounds like you've really seen a lot. That's
I've seen a
tremendous.
lot. I feel, I've said this a couple of times, but I feel when I get here that I'm home in some way. And it's because my people are from here. They left here in 1620 to go to the United States. And we immigrated to the United States, and now they're throwing immigrants out of the United States. And I suspect they'll come for me. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about getting back into the United States. They may, because I've said some fairly hostile things to our leader, about our leader, and they may come and get me, but I don't care.
You can stay here. We love you
He's a
here.
bit of a monster.
I have a guest room in our house. My husband's on board. We'll hang on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. One of us. We'd be happy to adopt you. How about you? Any plans to see more of the UK, or have you before?
Yeah, unfortunately not this weekend, but I first came to the UK when I was 15, and I fell in love with it. My dad was a big Anglophile, and then I went to drama school here. So, and since then I've spent a lot of time here, and I feel exactly the way you do. I feel totally at home. It's the strangest thing. Feel that this country that you don't live in feels more like home than where you came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's like meeting a cousin that you haven't seen in decades and decades, and you get together and it's like you just saw each other yesterday. It's like blood.
Say that again.
It's like blood.
I was dozing, yes.
Wake up, Mark.
Wake me up every once in a while. I got up
we
at
lost
3.
him earlier, and I was like, but he's tall and he's got an orange vest on. We should be able to see him.
Well, speaking of blood, we are here to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I can tell you firsthand, one of the most popular franchises in the UK, and it's a worldwide phenomenon for a reason, am I right? It spans generations, that's why it's such a popular show, and now a lot of younger generations are getting to watch it by streaming and reruns. But I would like to know the origin story of all of you. How did your career lead you to the show? I'll start with you.
How did my career lead me to the show? Well, I was very new in my career. I had come from New York, just graduated NYU, and was out in California. I had just filmed Bring It On, actually, and I got an audition, and I called up Eliza, Dushku, who played Faith, and she was like, yeah, absolutely, go in and, read for it. And so the character, there was no character description, there was only 2 pages of dialogue, and the character's name was like Sherry or something like that. And so I just thought, well, I have to do something interesting and different with this scene in order to, you know, I mean, it's a sci-fi show. So I had just watched The Shining, and I kind of like mimicked Jack Nicholson's character a little bit and added a little sense of humor to her, and then that is how I got the part. The next day they called me back, and Charlie was there, and we both were told we had the parts. So it was very simple, and I was like, wow, this is so easy. Hollywood's great. And then, you know, that's like the only time that's ever happened to me.
Hooray for Hollywood. Well, excuse me for fangirling over a Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Bring It On crossover. That is just blowing my fangirl mind right now. Love that. How did the role come to you, Mark?
How did the role come to me? I auditioned for it, like 500 other actors had already auditioned before me, and the casting director told me after my first meeting with Joss that she brought me in. Casting directors will do this, she said, when we don't know what the director wants because he can't seem to make up his mind, and he'd already seen 500 or so people, we bring in people that are completely wrong, and we bring in people that are completely right. We brought you in because we thought you were completely wrong, and we could bracket and find out what he really wants. If we bring in somebody we know he won't like, that's the one mark. And then we bring in somebody, well, it turned out he liked me. So I don't even remember who the casting director was. She was very good at her job, but she brought me in for the wrong reason. But Joss liked me, and so I went back 2 or 3 times. And the third time, when he said, I want you to do this part, I asked him what was the arc of the character through the season. And he said, it's really great because in the last episode, you kill Buffy. And I said, oh, that's nice. Does that mean if it gets picked up for a second season, it'll be called Master the Buffy Slayer? And he laughed like that and didn't tell me that she comes back to life and kills me. But that's how I auditioned like any other schlub and got it.
I'm from New York, and I wasn't really enjoying Hollywood. And I thought, you know, maybe I'll just like do a career change. So I thought about it, and I thought, oh, you know, and then my agent called me and said, oh, we've got an audition for you. And I was like, oh, but I don't have my speech ready about why I'm leaving the business. So I'll just go to this one last audition. And I auditioned the same day that David did. And I only had like 3 short sentences, but it felt really right. And then I just got a call and they were like, we want you to do the part. And I was like, great.
Just as you were trying to get out, they pulled you back in.
I know. Yeah. And I cut all my hair off as kind of, you know, this liberation from Hollywood. And the whole first season, Josh kept saying, why doesn't her hair look like it looked in the audition?
That's what women do when you're going through a bad breakup, and in your case, you were breaking up with Hollywood, so you cut the hair off.
Right.
Makes perfect sense to me. A couple more questions from me, but we have a microphone here. I know you guys are going to have some phenomenal questions. As long as they're respectful and fun, come on up to the microphone and introduce yourself and ask a question, please. Don't be shy. The microphone's right there. Well, I'd love to ask all of the actors this because obviously we're here because we're fans of Buffy and many other genres, but what are you all fans of? Be it Star Wars, Harry Potter. Alan Ford told us he's a fan of film noir. What is your fandom? Anyone can chime in.
I have to say Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all watched it during lunch because we didn't get home in time to watch it on, I think it was Tuesdays. So I love the show, and I have to say that's probably my biggest, my biggest fan thing.
So refreshing.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. Yeah.
I don't know that I'm a fan of anything. I mean, I like the Harry Potter books better when read, I think. My son loves Lord of the Rings, and my son loves the Avengers too. So I've been faking a love of the Avengers for a long time. Lord of the Rings I really do like. Again, I think the books are better. But I don't know, I may be a bit of a snob in that way. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
your turn.
I can't see
I'm a
you.
fan of Claire.
Thank you, Mark.
Aren't we all?
You're not a snob. I could never see you being a snob.
What?
I could never see you being a snob. You're not. No, you're very humble. I think the last. First of all, I'm like the worst critic because I'm like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love all film, television. Like, I just have a real theater, you know, a real appreciation for the art form. The last series that's coming to mind, like long series, that I really watched everything for was Game of Thrones. You know, I had at one point I had a podcast where I was talking about the Game of Yes, so this was, you know, before people were doing like the rewatch shows on TV, like Will Wheaton does for Star Trek or The Nerdist does for Walking Dead, and so I was like super into Game of Thrones. So actually, I've been meaning next time I come over here and I have a little more time, I'm gonna do the tour. By the way, this is how much of a geeky person I am. When I've gone to London, I've done the Jack the Ripper tour like 5 times. I try out different companies. I'm like, this company has a projector, you know, because they all have their little catch thing that's different from the other tours. So yeah, I like stuff like that, and so I'll definitely be doing the Game of Thrones tour.
Yes, we gotta get you booked to Belfast for sure.
I got it. Yeah, I got to.
Noted.
I thought of something that I'm a fan of. It's hard when people ask you what's your favorite movie. I never know what to say because at different moments in time, different movies are my favorite movie. I usually say Les Enfants de Paradis, which is an old movie, black and white movie, but it's a brilliant, brilliant movie, Children of Paradise. But right now, my favorite thing that I'm a big fan of is an English show, Adolescence, which just won a bunch of awards, and it's only 4 episodes if you haven't seen it, but it's the most brilliant television I think I've ever seen. Each episode is one single shot. They just travel with the actors, and if you don't know it, go find it and see it. It's really brilliant.
It's really good, yes.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. It won a bunch of awards just recently in the United States, where we have this horrible leader. Do I keep talking about that too much? Probably.
No, we honestly, we love a recommendation, and I've heard very good things about that. Adolescence, put it on your list. Hi there, do you have a question?
Is it working?
There we go.
If your characters were all still on the show for the musical episode of Buffy, what kind of song or dance number do you think the character might have done?
Well, I would have done a big showgirls, you know, like Vegas showgirls with feathers and sequins and not topless, but, you know, risque. Big and large, like Lori.
They would have written me off. The moment I opened my mouth to sing, I was so relieved that I thought everybody did the greatest job, but I would have been horrible. Back in New York, they used to have business cards back in the 80s, and it would go, you know, like Christine Sutherland, actor, dancer, singer. And I would like go, actor, who can't sing, who can't dance? So what about you, Mark?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Could you ask it again?
Buffy did a musical episode where all the characters sang.
Oh, yeah.
They danced. If the Master was still on the show for that episode, what kind of song or dance do you think he might have done?
Boy, that's a good question. I was thinking earlier today about the theater of the Master, his own sense of theater, and he has I think a big Broadway sense of theater. I used a lot of, I don't know if you know a film called Sunset Boulevard, but Sylvia Sidney? Who's the plays? No, what's the woman? I can't remember her name.
Yes.
But I used a lot of her gestures, hand gestures, because she has such a silent movie sense of drama, because that's in Sunset Boulevard, and I think the Master has that kind of. It harkens to his ancientness, the fact that he's 800 years old, but just so I was always hearkening back to the history of drama and of drama queens. I mean, he's a bit of a drama queen, the Master is, in a very evil way, I guess. But So I don't know, I mean, so that kind of Broadway showbiz kind of elegance and just self-adoring, I don't know. I'll go on, I'll stop.
I got it. Putting on the Ritz. Hello.
Hi, I'm a huge fan. My favourite episode is Once More with Feeling. I just absolutely love it. But I wanted to know what your favourite episodes were and probably your saddest as well. Mine's saddest was Joy's. That broke my heart. But yeah, so what your favourite and what your saddest episodes is?
Well, I will hop in first. First of all, they didn't put me in the body episode because they didn't want any distractions. You know, my character was so big and crazy. They wanted it to be very serious, so I thought that was a great choice. Just FYI, a little tidbit of information. My favorite episode would be the 100th episode because it was all about me. And I got to do a lot of stunt work, which I really liked, which was fun. I tend to be, and I think a lot of people on the show, Mark was just talking, are very like physical actors, you know, so for me, like the movement, the stunts, the all that, I loved it, so that was my favorite.
Yeah, my favorite episode is I didn't really watch the show that much, but my favorite episode to be in was the last episode where I got to kill Buffy, and then get killed by her. But it was, I think, probably the longest scene that I did, just sort of one-on-one with another actor, and she was wonderful. Sarah was wonderful to play with and to work with, very responsive, and she brought a lot with her, and a real pro, and it was really fun to work with her, and it's a very seductive scene. I mean, I think there's a level of sexuality in it that I think exists in that whole notion of vampires. And so it was fun to play with her, and it was great to kill her. She died well.
No remorse. This is the third time you've said you've enjoyed killing Buffy on a Buffy panel. No remorse, Mark. Wow.
No, I'm proud to have killed Buffy. How many people killed Buffy?
I did.
You killed her.
I also did.
That's right.
But I'm not up here bragging about it, Mark.
Well, I just have to quickly say, Juliet Landon's done a podcast, and Mark was 2 episodes, and I always laugh now when I do see you. Fruit Punch Mouth, can you remember Juliet saying that to you when you're dressed up as the master, and she said, now she can't look at you other than a fruit punch mouth.
Yeah, good fruit punch mouth, much more mouth. Yeah, people ask me a lot about the makeup and how long it took to put it on, and it took 5 hours because they hadn't painted it yet. So you can, if you watch Bang, 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 Bang from the first episode on, you can see the colors in the master's face, and the shape of it changes slightly, and it sort of arrives at that punch bowl mouth that she references. So we sort of found that as we worked at 4 o'clock in the morning, putting the makeup on all the time. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
From just drinking a little bit too much blood, sucking too hard.
You talk about the prosthetics and how long it took. They tried to put a prosthetic on me once, like, Glory had gotten a fight. I was like, no, she did not get in a fight. She didn't get a scar. She's perfect, you know, because I was not going to come in and do that. That I did not want that same experience of having to sit there for so long.
Yeah, I think I bought that for myself because when they first showed me the drawings of what the characters looked like, the master had kind of long, stringy hair and looked a little bit like Keith Richards, which they could have done without the prosthetics. And I talked them into, I said, why don't we try to bring some of the history of vampires along with us? Like I said earlier, I like to harken back and bring historical references with my character. And let's go back to Nosferatu. And we don't have to play it like Schenk did in the original Murnau film of Nosferatu, but let's sort of just remind people that there is a history to this vampire legend. And so I kind of bought myself this 5-hour thing, because then they said, that's a good idea. And then they went out and found a guy to create this mask that they did drawings and all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello again. So some seasons, great characters. So obviously two main villains and Mom of the Slayer. What characters would you swap with? So you have to swap all through all the 7 seasons. Which ones would you swap?
That's a really tough. You didn't answer the episode question.
Yeah, I
You got away from that. Let's go.
No, I always wanted to be Buffy. I mean, how do you watch Buffy and not want to be Buffy and have a superpower? And you know, I was always so excited when I got to be part of the action. You know, because I was usually at home being mom. But you know, when they first the one with the mask. And the demons was sort of the first time that I got into the action, and I was like, oh, this is fabulous. So that was really fun. But you know, how do you watch a show with a heroine or a hero and not identify with them? So maybe a little bit of a boring answer, but absolutely Buffy.
I'd want to be Buffy too, but for different reasons, just because there's more work and more pay, and all 7 seasons, and it would have been a nice living for a while.
A lot of work.
What?
A lot
of work. But I like to work. So I would have enjoyed the work.
I like to sleep too. I love to work, but I do like to sleep.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know who I would have swapped with. Glory was such an amazing character to play. It's like really a once in a lifetime role. You don't get a character like that ever. I didn't really understand that when I was playing her. It's been like in retrospect that I've been able to appreciate, you know, the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, all the characters, as I was mentioning when Mark was talking, I feel like the show had just so many amazing actors on it, and everybody was pretty much cast perfectly that it's hard to, like, I can't imagine anyone else playing Drusilla. I can't imagine anyone else playing Darla, or, you know, certainly not Buffy. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta stick with Glory. Glory's the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello there. Looking so bright and cheerful.
I was wondering if you could or had to change one thing about your characters, be it looks-wise or something about their storyline, what would it be?
She would not be gone.
I had a feeling that
she would have been season 6 and season 7, you know? A lot of people ask me what I think happened to Glory because you didn't see her die. I think she body jumped into Giles, and that's how she can make a return someday.
I would not die. That would be my. I would kill her, drop her in the puddle, say, by the way, I like your dress, and then go on through the Hellmouth and conquer the world, and it would be the episode in season 3, I guess, The Wish, and the master would be the mayor of Sunnydale.
I would have not kicked Buffy out of the house. That was so painful to do. And I knew I had to do it, but it just like, as a mother, how do you do that? So I literally just had to pretend I was a different person. And so I would love to go back and change that and let somebody else make her go wait tables.
I'd imagine working with Sarah Michelle Gellar that it became very protective and motherly vibes toward her. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Assuming,
yeah, we had a really good, oh gosh, what do you call it? A sensibility for each other. You know, it really felt like we had that relationship. It was really nice.
And Mark, you did not, because you killed her, and you like to talk about killing her, so there was no sensibility there. Is that right?
No sensibility.
With Buffy, you just want her dead. That's what you've been telling us.
She's a pest. She's so annoying.
Wow, savage. Thank you so very much. Dawn's gonna help with the mic here. That's a Comic-Con exclusive and takeaway. She's a pest. What a quote, Mark Metcalf. Hello. I bet you have a great question for us.
Right into it.
I was wondering, if you were allowed to, what prop would you take from any set or anything that any of the characters used?
What prop would we take?
I know exactly because I took it.
Ooh.
I took a photograph. They did, for the props department, they did photos of Dawn and Michelle and me, family portraits to put in the house. And I snitched it out of the frame because I love that photo so much.
Can we ask where it is now? Is it like a conversation piece in your home?
No, it's in a photo album.
Oh.
Along with me as on the Halloween. We actually shot on Halloween one day, and I went as Ted's first wife. In an old like 1950s dress. How about you, Mark?
I don't know. I don't know. The first film I ever did, I tried to take my pledge pin, second film I ever did, a movie called Animal House, and we with fraternities, and I had a pledge pin, and I tried to take it. I thought, they're not going to use this again. They followed me to the airport. Peter McGregor Scott, who was the production manager, followed me to the airport and took it away from me and took it back. And I kind of felt then that like I don't get to take any props. But maybe, I don't know, maybe the teeth. Because they were kind of fun to wear and try to talk around. And I could scare people. I could bite them in the neck. Come here, little girl. Kidding, never mind. Don't be scared, don't be traumatized.
Well, you see this red dress here? That was a Prada dress, and that was very expensive back in 2001. And so I probably would have kept that dress. That's why you see me wearing it all season. They didn't have much of a budget for my wardrobe, but they invested in this one piece, and so I just kept wearing it.
Lori's got style, and now it'd be vintage Prada.
Now it would be vintage
more.
Prada. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would, yeah. And that's the dress people ask me about the most. Did you get to keep the dress? And I did not get to keep it. I don't know where it is. Probably in Warner Brothers wardrobe costume somewhere.
Belongs in a Buffy museum for sure. Great question. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Round of applause. I love when our younger audience has the moxie to come up and ask a question. Thank you so much, Dawn. Hello.
Hi, I was told to ask a question, so here I am. Over all the seasons, a lot of the cast have all been in different episodes and come on when at different times, so you've not all worked together always. So my question to all three of you is if there's another character, cast member that you would have liked to have worked with and didn't, and then what would you have done?
I would have loved to work with everybody. Yeah. I mean, I in particular really didn't interact a lot. I was either with Dawn, Michelle, or with the Minions, which I never really, the funny thing about working with them, I never knew what they looked like. Because they would get in for hair and makeup, you know, and they'd get minionized, and then I'd interact all day with them, you know, and joke around, ha ha ha, and then, you know, I'd leave and they'd go get back into makeup to get all the prosthetics taken off. So I really did not know what those guys looked like until like the end of the season party, and they're talking to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, who? And they're like, it's, you know, it's Drake or it's whoever. So that was fun. But yeah, I would have, like I mentioned, there's so many talented actors on the show and so many talented guest stars at different times. I would have loved to just work more with people in general.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the amazing things about coming to these cons, is that so many of us didn't work with each other. And we've had the opportunity over the years to get to know the other cast members whose work we've admired, but you know, I don't think you and I ever were in the makeup room together, you and I weren't. So that's been amazing. I mean, I feel like I was a part of the family, the original family, but through these I feel like I'm with the full Buffy family. So that's something you guys have given us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I isolated myself intentionally, but I was isolated also because I got there at 4 a.m. or so to put makeup on, was in the makeup chair, and then I would go into my room and try not to mess up the makeup. And when I got trying to get to the set, I would act with these people who I never saw as real people. They were always the character. I can't even remember their name. The kid, the boy, was he the chosen one?
Anointed one, Colin.
The anointed one.
What's his name? Andrew?
Colin. Oh, Andrew Fletchland.
Yes, yes. And now I've met him I was just in Paris, when we were in Paris, he was there. And I've met him as an adult, but he's always this little kid to me. And those relationships were great and very special. But it would have been nice to, now the family that I have from Buffy is really more these people that I've done conventions with. Claire, I've done several times in London. I've done conventions with Claire in several times. Yeah, you understand. Sorry. And Christine, and so this family that's come together because of you, because of this wonderful fan base that has such affection and love for this show and understanding of the show, has brought us together, and there's a whole new level of relationships. And this is work, in a way. It's a different kind of work, but it is work. But it's quite enjoyable.
Great question.
long
Thank you so
commute.
much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Well, I think I can speak for all of us here that, no pun intended, Buffy has some of the most die-hard fans in the world. And thank you, all of you, for your great questions. I want you to show your appreciation one more time for Christine Sutherland, Mark Metcalf, and Claire Kramer, the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's keep it going for them, Telford. They've got to get back to their celebrity area with the autographs and selfies to meet and greet all of you. Let's keep it going one more time.
You know what? I just want to thank you guys too, because as Christine said, this has been a big journey for all of us, and we have all bonded really closely, and you guys have all bonded, and the relationship is very symbiotic. And I just want to say thank you guys for being loyal to the show and being loyal to the actors who played the characters you love. So thank you.
Somebody said to me, you guys are so great, and part of the reason I like coming to England is not just because my ancestors came from here, but also because of you and your affection, as I said. But somebody said to me that the difference between England and the United States, as far as Buffy is concerned, is that we treat it like steak, and in America, you treat it like popcorn. And it's really, if you think about it, it's a really good analogy, I think, because you people have a depth of understanding and affection for it that I haven't really experienced in any cons that I've done in America.
That's thanks to all of you. That's a testament to all of you being Buffy fans, die-hard, loyal Buffy fandom. Give yourselves a round of applause. Great questions, everybody. And one more time, let's hear it for Christine, Mark, and Claire, the cast of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's make it rowdy for them, Telford. Show your love. What a great panel.